we go. It's a nice big path. What I'm just going to head in here quickly, and then what I'll do is I'll turn off the engine and we're going to listen quietly for a minute or two to see if we can hear them. Aha! There we go. First elephant popping out of the drainage line. Oh, it's our same friend who likes to roll around, and he's rolling again. There was always a possibility that the elephants might stop and feed around the drainage line or in the drainage line. Eating at the bush willow tree. Actually, more elephants behind us again. And you can see when you look at her skin compared to that young male who just walked past us, who was the last person in the mud bath, how quickly that mud dries. There are still some damp patches of mud, but you can see quite a bit of it's dried already. And there, I just spotted the little mischief maker, a little bit to the left of his mother, coming towards us slowly. Good afternoon, Barbara. Barbara's inquiring about big elephant tuskers and their genes. And is there any way to know whether any of these elephants have that tusker gene? Barbara, it's very difficult to say that whether these animals have the tusker gene. There is big tusker genes in this area, but it's difficult to say whether any of these particular individuals have that gene. So some of the biggest elephant tuskers ever recorded are all from the greater Kruger area. So the gene is in the area, but for looking at the young bulls here, I wouldn't say any of them are carrying that tusker gene unless it's a recessive gene. and then again, it'd be very difficult without getting tissue samples to test. And I'm not sure they've actually isolated the tusker gene as well, so I don't know how easy that would be. The largest elephant tusks ever recorded in Africa were from Tanzania. Rumor has it they were shot by a slave trader by the name of Tipo Tip, who worked for the Sultan of Zanzibar. And he gave those tusks as a gift to the Sultan as homage. And the then British consulate, who lived in Zanzibar, got so excited about these tusks that the Omani Sultan of Zanzibar gave the tusks to the British consulate, and they then stayed in the British consulate in Zanzibar for quite a long time before they made their way to their current home, which is the Natural History Museum in London. I can't remember those exact weights of those tusks, but I know they were around 230 pounds a side. Someone would like to check that for me, please. What were the exact weights of the largest African elephant tusks ever recorded? And you can send those answers for me to questions@WildEarthTV, or if you're on Twitter, you can just use the hashtag SafariLive. So we've had a great sighting of these ellies. They are moving into some thicker bush now, so there's no need for us to harass them by driving around them now. So what we're going to do is I'm going to have a quick look at a place called Treehouse Dam, quite a popular spot for leopards in this area, and Mark did tell me there were tracks heading in that direction. So go have a look, see if we find anything there. And then if we don't, we'll make our way back towards those lions, and hopefully there won't be black cats anymore, and hopefully they'll start moving. Just trying to pick our best way out of the bush here. Good afternoon, Andrew. There's Nkuhuma, Ngala. They were left open lock, Lala, Twin Dams junction with Ingers, Higher Road. There's a big Columbia and Glovo now at Chelepan, Weaver's Nest Junction, slowly mobile south. And that is all the updates for the morning, for the afternoon. FM, I'm just leaving them now. It's a big Columbia, and there's very slowly mobile feeding. They're at Chelepan junction with Weaver's Nest at the moment. Copy, no problem. I'm just going to check now towards Treehouse Mighty, and then I'm going to head back towards Ngala. Wasn't that wonderful? Being able to spend that much time with the elephants. Definitely feeling lucky today. So should I say, oh, I haven't seen a leopard in a while, can I just see a leopard now? So that's what that worked for the elephants. But we'll see what's around the corner. That's the wonderful thing, is that you never know what's around the corner. We can always what always helps the sightings and how we find animals is our ability to read the bush, so to read the tracks, listen to the squirrel alarm calls and other alarm calls, and that helps us to be able to find more animals. But sometimes it pays to just be plain lucky, like we were this afternoon. So we've got some elephant tusk answers coming through. The first one that's come through is 214 pounds. I'm not sure, for some reason, that's from our Zoomy Mike. For some reason, my memory does sit in sort of 230 pounds, those specific tusks from the slopes of Kilimanjaro. But maybe my memory's not as good, but that's our one answer. That is a monstrous elephant, and you imagine 214 pounds. Imagine having to walk around with a tooth that's 214 pounds heavy. So, come on. Well, definitely no leopard. Or not say definitely no, but unlikely. There's a nice big male kudu who looks like he's heading down for a drink. Let me just get into position. Oh, you see that? See how that kudu? I'll wait for you to zoom in a little bit. A bird just started alarm calling slightly differently, and he stopped on his way down to drink just to check that it wasn't a predator. Nice bull, kudu bull. Get ready. I think there's some nice light that's going to break through the clouds on him in a few seconds. So for anyone who's possibly a new viewer out there, welcome. And just to let you know that this is live, you are seeing exactly what we are seeing, about a few seconds. And that is an incredible, incredible thing. And anyone who's wondering what that sharp click was, that's just my camera. Such a beautiful sight. I can't help but snap a few pics. See though, even though he's drinking, he's always conscious. You watch his ears constantly moving around, searching for danger. So now he's still checking where he heard that testicular alarm call. Ah, majestic animals. That was a lovely little interlude. See if we can catch up with them again. So we're gonna let that kudu bull continue on his way. He's moved into some thicker areas, and we're still gonna check around here. Oh my goodness, and those are quite fresh. Aye. That way, leopard tracks. And those are definitely on top of everyone from this morning. Have a quick look here to where that testicular was alarm calling. So just going to look carefully around here. I don't see any tracks. You might have cut down across and had a drink in the water and maybe gone to the other side of the dam. Just have a quick careful look here. So there's the last. No, I think he's gone straight. I didn't see any tracks coming on the road leading up to here. Come on, kitty cats, where you hiding? Gonzo of Madoringwe on Savage's truck, heading towards Treehouse Mati. I'm going to check on the southern side of Treehouse Mati. There's no tracks on the northern side on Elephant Skull. So we're going to have a quick look here, see if he snuck across the dam wall. Doesn't look like it. Maybe he would have crossed behind the water. Not seeing any tracks here. Not here. A very strong possibility he could be in this drainage line to our west here. Just going to check carefully along the edge here. If we don't find anything, then we're going to head back towards those lions. So those leopard tracks haven't seemed to come out of this drainage line. We're going to check very carefully along this road. The tracks are quite fresh during the day sometime, but now it's sort of we have to sort of weigh up our options. We're going to check very carefully here, see if the leopard pops out of this thick drainage line on our right. Other than that, if we don't get any tracks as we move around, it's getting to that time of the day where the lions might start getting moving, and there's a very good chance that they're going to move towards the dam where the buffalo are. So it's one of those times it's sort of time to make a call. I think we just check around here very quickly for a little bit, but I'm going to have to go with my good old gut on this one and to say I think maybe we should look for leopard tomorrow morning. I think there's a possibility of some very good interaction with the lions, so we will take a quick look around, but then I think I am going to start making my way towards the lions. Stations, no trucks come out on the southern side. Possibly that animal is still in that drainage line to the west of Treehouse Mighty. I'm leaving the area. I'm going to make my way back towards the Nkuhumas. Good afternoon, Debbie. Debbie would like to know what's the difference between kudu and inyala. Well, Debbie, one of the first and more obvious differences is their size. A kudu is quite a lot taller and bigger than inyala. Secondly, the horns are much bigger. The coloration, a kudu is almost a sort of tan grey color, white stripes. The inyala also have the white stripes. Another difference is the female and the males are both have the same coloration. Whether it's the inyala, the male and the female, have quite a big difference in coloration. And but definitely the size and color. So an inyala is sort of chocolate brown, a male inyala, with orange socks, as we like to call them, very distinct orange legs, and then the horn shape is also slightly different. Kudus have big, broader not coils, but curls, compared to an inyala. And give me a second, I will find them in my book and show you the difference. Just need a bookmark here quickly. That looks like it'll be a good, decent bookmark to hold one page while I try to find the other one. Also, Nyala, although they are both browsers, obviously browse at different levels because of their sizes. Also, Nyala are far more tied down to, not tied down, but generally found more along drainage lines and thickets around riverine areas, where kudu, you will find them in those areas, but they also do spend a lot of time in the open bushvelds like we're driving through at the moment. Like they've got every animal in the book except a kudu. Now I know there's a kudu in here somewhere. I'll find it shortly. Well, in the meantime, since we've seen a kudu this afternoon, but not an Inyala male, you can see that is the Inyala male there. Yeah, chocolate brown, and those orange, very distinct orange legs. Also, they both have that white chevron between their eyes, but you can see the horn shape's quite a bit different. And that's an Inyala bull. And just give me 30 seconds. Can't believe it. Hold it back. Well, I can't find a picture of a kudu right now. I will look again when we get to the lions. I just want to get near them before they possibly start moving. And if they are still lying down, I will find a picture of a kudu then. Temperature's definitely dropped. Sun's about to has dropped behind some clouds, so that's making it a bit cooler. Brian's going to show you the sun shortly. You can see it disappearing behind clouds behind us as we head down towards the Nkuhuma Pride of Lions. What an awesome African skyline. Good evening, Djuma in Oklahoma. Welcome on Drive with us. Djuma would like to know whether I've ever witnessed a big cat kill from start to finish. I am very lucky, Djuma. I've actually witnessed quite a few in my years in the bush. I've seen lions take down buffalo on numerous occasions. I've seen them take down giraffe on quite a few occasions. I've seen them take down zebra, wildebeest, impala. I've seen lions kill hyena. I've seen pretty much most things they can eat. And I've been around, I've seen them eat them. And from the other big cats, leopard, I've seen quite a few leopard kills. I've seen them kill inyala, bushbuck, impala, jackal, which is also, that was quite a rare one for me. Zebra tracks on the road. Just have a look on your side there, Bri. Is there not a leopard track in between those zebra tracks? I just keep thinking I see a cat in between.
No cats.
No cats?
Okay.
On the side? No cats. Okay. So I'm cat on the brain. And yeah, I've seen leopards kill steenbok, duiker, lots of different animals. Cheetah kills I've also seen quite a few of. So I've been very lucky, but you must remember I've been pretty much living in the bush since I was about 5 years old, so I've been very spoiled. So we're nearly at those lions. It'll be interesting to see what's going on. I've sort of got a sneaky suspicion they haven't moved yet, being the key word. Well, fingers crossed. Exactly. When we arrive, they should move. So, we're very close to where the lions are. You can see it's got a bit nippy. Just popped my shuka over my shoulders.
So stylish.
So stylish and warm, and so not only stylish, but what's the word? Stylish and what's the word I'm looking for?
Flamboyant.
No, not flamboyant. Now you stop that now. No, the word is stylish and practical. So, I'm hoping we still see some snoozing cats. Do you see any snoozing cats? I don't see any snoozing cats. I think the snoozing cats are no longer snoozing. I think the snoozing cats have disappeared. Now, whether they move further down to the drainage line to sleep on, or they've moved up to the dam, we'll go find out right now. Don't see any tracks on the road. What I'm going to do is I'm going to scoot ahead. So they might have taken one of the game paths in this drainage line through to the dam. I'm just going to check the dam first. Where are you, lions? So, the lions have disappeared. We've got our timing a little bit off this afternoon, it seems, and as you can see, it's got a bit cooler. So, I've put my shuka on, which is a traditional Maasai sort of blanket, very warm, and as Brian says, very stylish, but as I say, also very practical. So if the lions haven't arrived at the dam yet, it's possible they just got a bit hot where they were deeper into the drainage line. So what we're going to do is just check quickly down into the drainage line behind the dam, northern side. So I just want to make sure that but when you're trying to spot a single track each time, but it does not look like they have done that, which is good news. So I think they might have just moved close by to sleep a little bit further in the drainage line. So, come on, kitty cats. There's an access down into the drainage quite close to where they were lying. Here. So some technical driving for a few seconds while we try to get into the drainage line to try find those lines again. Also, I'll be checking for tracks very carefully. How's it, Andrew?
Hello, what are you doing, man?
Good, thanks.
Good.
Did you see that fresh quarry Hlahla?
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, so they were lying on in between those two shkovas there. So I'm hoping there's no tracks coming out the other side, and there's no tracks going that side, and there's no tracks going south. So hopefully they're still in the drainage line. So just chatting to Andrew. Andrew, one of the other guides, he's also looking for the line, so he's been checking on the other side for me. Oh boy, I don't think are we gonna maneuver through this? What do you think, Brian? I think so.
I don't know, sir.
You don't know so?
You can go around it, so just try good.
I don't think we can go around it. Nah, we'll just go through it. It's a little bit wet. Find out. Nah, it's fine. Not sinking through. So it's quite close to here where all those lines were slipping up on this, between these little drainage lines here. I'm hoping they're not too far. Change the angle of the approach a little bit. And smell. It smells like line, Doug. One more try. There we go. Oh, maybe not. There we go. Easy peasy. Lemon squeezy. So there's quite a prominent path through here. could just be sleeping still up there somewhere. Copy, thanks very much. I've got Luton cons on this side there. Copy, thanks. It's a bit warmer down here in the drainage line. It's not moving so fast. Just checking very carefully for tracks. Not lying where we left them. So we're busy trying to find tracks, and there's two of us in this area who are busy looking for them at the moment. It is possible we might have just moved a little bit further into one of those very steep drainage lines that we can't get into and lay down there. So what we're doing is just making sure they haven't left the area, so to speak. Can't see any tracks around here yet. As you can see, it's quite a technically challenging area to drive through to find lions. Lots of ups and downs and ducking and diving between bushes and thickets. And a few dead ends like this one. Hopefully we find them shortly. Okay, copy. Have you relocated? And you're coming? Watch out for the thorns there, Brian. We're nearly out. This is where it gets tricky. Andrew coming? Standing by. Go ahead, Andrew. Okay, copy. Thanks very much, Andrew. I'll head towards that area. So, looks like Andrew found some tracks. So we're going to shoot across there, see which way the tracks are going. Sneaky little lions. Why do they want to go east when there's a whole dam full of buffalo? Anyway, and that's the thing about the bush. You can never really predict. You can have a really good idea about what animals are going to do, but like this afternoon, they can do the opposite. We're just going to move a little bit quicker to get around to the other side of the drainage line. Oops, bump, sorry, Brian. Okay. Where are you kitty cats? Oh, you're out of the drainage line and moving again. It gets a bit chilly again. So they might have headed a little bit further east. So we're going to go check back down towards the east. Come on, lions. There's no tracks here. Good afternoon, Romay on Twitter. Romay would like to know whether this shuka was given to me as a gift or I bought it. Romay, this particular one was a gift from a guy called Kumbi, who I worked with in East Africa. Where could these lions have gone? Andrew coming. So the plan is now, so the lines haven't come there, the general direction is east, which is that way, but they might have gone sort of southeast. This is quite a big section with no roads in it, so what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to try and get down there and into the drainage line and then head sort of northwest up the drainage line. I don't think they would have moved this far this quickly, and there's no tracks here. And if I have no luck, I think I know a secret sneaky spot that I found when Andrew and I were filming Elephant the one day, and there's a way to get into the drainage line there that most people don't know, and I even said it was so beautiful in there. So I think that's where they might be, but we're going to check the sort of the normal areas first, and then that is the last resort. Okay. And for this Luto and Konzo coming out on Central, maybe they went south in the block between the Molowati and Central. Sorry, Andrew, go again. I missed that last bit. Copy. I'm going to take Patsalia and then I'll check from Patsalia up to Molowati. So, then none of the, we're still on the trail of those lines. None of the tracks come out on any of these roads. So what we're going to do is we're going to head down to the drainage line and start heading the other way. So heading northwest up the drainage line, make sure we haven't tried to sneak. And then Andrew in the other game drive vehicle is checking from the north, and we're going to come from the south. Scott, Mark or Stefan coming? What's your position? Confirm Patsalia Road. Heading north or south? Yeah, copy. Confirm you copied that update about the Bengalis. No, they're in the block between Patsalia and the Molowati. There's no tracks coming out on Central. Standing by. Copy. Whereabouts, Andy? copy. Thanks very much, Andrew. So guys, hang on. Andrew has found them. So that's what the joy is of two vehicles working together. We're able to cover more ground and increase our chances of finding animals. So he's found them. So I'm going to go a little bit quicker to get there. And not been us in the first hour and a half or so. We went and found where those lions were sleeping, and we had a look at them for a while, trying to debate, but it's quite difficult with flat bellies, to see how full they are, whether they look hungry enough to hunt again tonight. But we're going to find out shortly. Good evening, Grace from Dallas. Grace would like to know whether it's more difficult to track lion and leopard during the wet season than it is in the dry season. Oh, most definitely, Grace. The bush is much thicker. With all the rain, it compacts the roads. The roads are much harder, so you don't see the tracks as easily. So it is much harder to track lion and leopard in the wet season as opposed to the dry season. But that's not to say you can't. You can, but it is more difficult in the wet season. Okay, we're nearly there. Andrew, come on. I'm at the junction of Central and Caricat line. Okay, copy. I know where it is. I've had a sighting in here before. Okay, so they were literally just between us. We must have been very, very close to them when we were driving in that drainage line. So there they are. They didn't move very far. Let's say they just look like they changed sleeping positions. Hello, kitty cats. So much nicer than where they were sleeping earlier. Much better sighting. They're not hiding in that thicket anymore. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All present and accounted for. So it is cool. It's the right time of the day to be with lions. As I said, they are infinitely lazy animals, sleeping for on average about 20 hours a day. They've probably moved 150, 200 meters from where we last saw them. And as I said, they quite often do their movement in sort of bouts of 20 minutes. They'll walk for 20 minutes, then they'll sleep again for 20 minutes, walk for 20 minutes, sleep again for 20 minutes. Very, very lazy animals. But if we have a look at their bellies, they are still quite full. We're able to see that now. They're still digesting buffalo. So even though they could definitely eat, I don't think hunting is going to be high up on their priority list this evening. And so what's happened is, as it got cooler, they've stopped sleeping under the bushes and thickets, and they've actually moved out. Now are resting out in the open, possibly a slight more breeze to keep them cool. They're definitely not looking very energetic at the moment. So since we've arrived, not much has happened. Rolled over, but as you can see, their bellies are quite full. Amazing evening chorus of francolins going around at the moment. For those of you who might have just tuned in or didn't catch the whole update, or are new to the Safari Live concept, whatever I am seeing, you are seeing, wherever you are in the world, bar a few seconds. So we are at this very moment sitting in the heart of the African bushveld, about 4 meters from a pride of 8 lions. They're not doing much, they're sleeping lions, but nevertheless it's an absolutely amazing thing to be able to sit this close to the apex predator in Africa. Good evening, Joyce from New Hampshire. Joyce would like to know what particular birds that are calling in the background at the moment. Joyce, the 2 loudest ones you're going to be hearing are crested francolin and natal francolin. Both species are calling. There was a natal francolin, was that one a few seconds ago. So for those of you wondering how Joyce got her question to me, we are interactive and we do appreciate your questions, and you can get your questions to us by emailing us at questions@safarilive.tv. At WildEarthTV, or you can just use the hashtag Safari Live if you're on Twitter. So, to explain our plan for the afternoon, is we saw where these lions were earlier, and the reason we've come back to them now is we're hoping, as it's cooler, they might move, but with those fat bellies full of buffalo, it's unlikely, but there is a chance, and if they are going to move, it will be... Good evening, Sandy. Sandy would like to know if a lioness has cubs from a male outside of the dominant males in the area, will a male kill them? And if so, how would he know? Well, Sandy, that's a very interesting question. Lions and leopards have things that it's called a false estrus. So the males think they're an estrus, and they will mate with them even though they're not an estrus. It's only much shorter than the normal estrus period. And in recent studies, it turns out to show that up to 48% of lion cubs in a certain area of Namibia called Etosha were born to non-pride males. So males that hang around the peripheries and basically sneak in, mate with the female, and then sneak out. So it's difficult for that male to know, especially with things like false estrus. They might have heard something too serious, but I'm just going to reposition ourselves. There's another game vehicle coming in, and if anyone can see those flashes, there is another game drive vehicle here. Andrew's there. He found the lions first, so his guests are just taking a few pictures. I'm going to see if we can sneak around the front of him. Okay, I'm just going to reposition. There's another vehicle coming in, so we want to make space for them as well. There is some signs of possible movement when they start stretching. So we are seeing a little bit of movement and stretching amongst the animals. This could mean they're moving. They might move, but I think it's still quite a way off. So lions have a very distinct greeting and sort of process before they get moving. Quite often one will stand up, stretch, and sort of wet, and so then go urinate, and then we'll sort of walk back to another line and flop onto it.
Yeah, right on the junction, you came along, what I understand, along the cat line and you joined the central. So from where that, junction,
And then quite a lot of licking and grooming between the others. So allo grooming, so social grooming, and all these type of things are very important for the you'll see that all that social grooming is very important for the makeup of the pride. Being the only social cat, they need to reaffirm those social bonds, because when they feed, those all go out the window and it's each lion for itself. So there we go, roll over, fat belly. So there will be a lot of that before they start moving. So you're starting to see some stretching, but I'm not seeing that social greeting, the touching of the faces. So I don't think they're probably going to move just yet. They might move a little bit, sort of roll over, a few more yawns. The more yawns we start seeing, the more stretching we start seeing, and that's some of the indicators that they are going to start moving. Andrew, did you hear that? No, it sounded like my show. I know that it's Sibambili today.
oh yeah. Okay, then now my ear is open.
So we're still sitting with the lions, not moving much. We're talking about how the sort of signs that a lion is going to start moving, or pride of lions are going to start moving. We start seeing a lot of sort of yawning, stretching, a bit like that. From the individuals, and like that lioness sitting up at the back and cleaning. But the most important thing is what we call allo grooming, and that is the social grooming. Those social bonds within the pride, because when they feed, they forget all those social bonds and they're very aggressive with each other. They fight and bite and scratch and claw and growl. There's some more stretching happening. So you watch. See, now this is nice, good lion behavior. She's now going to walk. She's been away from the others, and she's probably going to flop down on another lion. Exactly. And there we actually can see the beginning of that social grooming I was talking about. She's starting slowly to lick another one of the lionesses. So. But it's still very early days. This can go on for 20 minutes, half an hour before they actually do get moving. Good evening, Nigel. Thanks very much for your tweet. Nigel would like to know whether I notice a difference between the behavior of Sabi Sands lions and other lions I've seen in Botswana, Kenya, Tanzania, and other places in Africa. Well, one thing you must always remember with animals, Nigel, is that a lot of behavior is area-specific rather than species-specific. So lions in the Sabi Sands will behave one way, and lions in Botswana will have a different way. So the lions in the Sabi Sands are very well-known buffalo hunters. Whereas I've seen lions in southern Tanzania that are petrified of buffalo, and that can even change from very close areas. So it's very important to remember that a lot of the behavior is very area specific rather than species specific, and I'm talking about quite unique behavior. So in general, there's a lot of lion behavior that would be very similar wherever you are in Africa, but there is certain behavior that will be very unique to certain areas. For example, the lions in the Okavango Delta will swim across large bodies of water. I don't think you could get a Sabi Sands lion to do that. They don't even like getting their toes wet. So a lot of that behavior is very area specific. For example, the lions in Chobe as well are avid elephant hunters when it's very dry there. I've only heard of 2 or 3 occasions where elephants have been sort of 15, 16-year-old elephant bulls have been hunted by lions in the Lowveld. But yet in northern Botswana and South Luangwa, that's a relatively common practice when it is very dry. Not to say that these lions wouldn't do it, it's just they haven't sort of had the practice. So Sabi Sands lions, I've noticed, are very partial to buffalo and giraffe. And when I worked further south, we used to have that coalition of male lions called the Mapocho, and they used to really like hunting giraffe. But if you move even just 70 kilometers further east of us here to the basalt plains of the Kruger National Park around Satara, there they do hunt giraffe, but they barely hunt buffalo. But that's because there's a huge population of wildebeest and zebra on those basalt plains, and those wildebeest and zebra will make up the majority of what they kill. That was one particular pride. We did see them hunt buffalo, but not as often as you would say in this area. And that also changes with the different lions in the group. So I'd just like to say to all of those who have joined us this afternoon, it's been a fantastic afternoon. I always love being out in the bush, and it makes me very happy and actually proud to be able to share my passion and love for the African bush with all of you all over the world. So thanks very much for joining us. We've had a very successful afternoon. We didn't find the leopards we were looking for, but we did have a nice sighting of the lions early on, and a wonderful elephant sighting. That baby bathing in the mud wallow was a lot of fun. We sort of just happened to be at the right spot, and all the elephants passed through the mud wallow. And after a bit of tracking, we were able to come back across on the Nkuhuma pride, who I'm hoping will stay on Vuyatela for a bit longer. But unfortunately, my gut thinks they're going to cross north into Buffelshoek this evening. And I was hoping they were going to head towards Gari Dam, maybe go have a look at those buffalo, at least have a drink in that area. But they've moved east away from that area. So again, thanks very much, guys, and from all of us here at Wild Earth. Have a wonderful evening, and join us all again tomorrow morning. Good night.